So we could hear a moose walking out here in the water somewhere. So now we're gonna go kill it. I can hear that bully right there. Alright guys, we are headed deep into the Alaskan bush for 11 days. Got a moose tag in my pocket and adventure on the horizon. So we're gonna see what kind of trouble we can find out here. Appreciate everything. See you in 10 or 12 days or something. All right. And we're off. That took longer than I thought it was gonna take. Almost 3 o'clock. We left at 10 this morning and it's about 2:30 or so now, so a very long boat ride. So we're just kind of tooling around and making sure there's nobody else up in here. Kind of ease around here, see if we can find some moose sign. Find a good place to set up camp and get the tent set up, and then we'll go look for a moose. So we just stepped off the boat, and first step, I just about stepped into a pile of fresh moose turds, so that's a good sign. And just wanted to get out and explore a little bit before setting up camp, before committing to this place. Just make sure that there's a good amount of moose sign around. Got the bow with me. You know, everywhere out here you have the potential of running into a bull, so always going to have this with me everywhere I go. So there's moose sign, there's trails and fresh sign all in here. This looks like where a bull just broke this willow branch off of the branch. There's lots of country. I think what we'll do is just take the boat back around to the mouth of this thing and find a good dry spot for camp. Just tore up. I think we found home for the next 10 or 12 days. Kids used my tent last. They left me a pillowcase in there. Really nice weather right now, and so a wood stove might seem overkill, but man, if it starts raining, it's real nice. It was a long damn day on that boat. All right, it's probably 2 hours to sunset. There's a group of birch trees over here that I think I might be able to climb up and get a view out into this meadow, but it won't be too much longer before they'll be getting up and moving around, so I'm gonna get out there and see if we can see something. On last year's hunt, I was walking through some real tall grass like this and started getting into some fresh sign, and I didn't take about 3 or 4 more steps, and a pretty good bull stood up about 10 yards from me, but I couldn't tell if he wasn't a giant, but he was right around that 50-inch mark. But this is the type of stuff they like to bed in, right on these little ridges next to the river. There's a bull in here just wearing these trees out. He's got a place in here that's just tore up, size of an F-250. Got some big trees he's rubbing, just breaking branches. I like it. Hit that grouse in the leg. Yeah, I thought I got him for a minute, but it's just a little bit too low. Saw the first moose of the trip. He winded us. He came out of the brush 70, 80 yards and then just kind of headed out. And I couldn't tell if he was legal or not. He didn't look like a huge bull, but he would have been borderline probably. He acted like he smelled us. I think the closer to the river you get, I think it's just going that way. Squirrels have completely gnawed off the base and the main beam on that. Well, it's time for him to step out. So we had a fantastic day, beautiful weather, a little bit windy, but beautiful. Got out and did a little bit of exploring, saw one bull, saw some more sign, but haven't heard anything yet. Chipotle beef burrito bowl. It's gonna be mighty fine. Something that's kind of spoon-esque anyway. It's the end of day one. Didn't hear much today, but it was super windy, so that's not a surprise. And hopefully the weather stays nice, because this is quite the change from last year. As of now, what I'm thinking about doing is floating down in the morning and just listening, and then getting downwind of some of this stuff that's down here below us and just kind of still hutting up through there. That seemed to work last year. I got real close to a couple of bulls last year doing that, so I think that's what we'll give a try in the morning. But it is probably 10:30 and it's just now dark, so I'm going to bed, and I'll see you in the morning. So it's about 6:30 a.m. Beautiful morning. Had a good night. Just getting some coffee on. Gonna get out and see if we can hear a bull. I did a little cow calling before I went to bed last night, and not 20 minutes later we had a bull right behind the tent, raking and stomping and breaking brush. He probably wasn't 50 yards behind us, so that's encouraging. I think he'll still be around there somewhere. Hopefully we can hear him. Beautiful morning though. Happy to be here. It's an awesome place. Just bumped one up here. It's all just a flash of a moose trotting through the birch trees. I couldn't tell what it was though. It's too open in here. I want to get to where it's kind of thick, so they have to come in real close to see where they're calling from. Raking brush. He's raking. So we got a bull raking brush. He looks like he sounds like he's probably 100 yards away, maybe. Just gonna ease up, see what happens. Bull's raking right here, and then I can hear another one walking in the water out here. Just gonna ease up just maybe 50 yards. Gotta skirt to the right a little bit. So it's September 11th right now. We had two bulls within 100 yards of us, but they're not just on fire yet. A few more days. Got the cackling geese. I'm pretty sure this is right where that bull was raking and we weren't, but I don't know, maybe 60, 70 yards back there. There's another band of willows in between us and that oxbow lake over there. I'm pretty sure that's where he's at. I think that bull's just bedded down. I don't think he's very far. Last year I had a situation like this where I was calling. Had two bulls across the meadow like this, and I sat there for probably an hour and called, and they did exactly what these bulls are doing. They just calmed down, like stopped raking, stopped calling. So I left and came back the next day, and those bulls had come to right where I was calling. So we're just gonna hang out here for a little bit and see if something wanders in. We just spotted two pretty good sized bulls. Like they never turned face hunting me, so I couldn't tell much about them other than they look from the side to be legal, but it's hard to tell from that angle. There's moose around. They were headed into the brush this way, so I think we're going to ease around downwind of them and just try to cut them off, get in there, and do a little bit of calling, see if we can't bring one in. Moose hair. Those bulls could have been just kind of sparring a little bit, knock some hair off one another. So I think those bulls are probably bedded right now. I just don't think the ruts got kicked in good enough for them to really get aggressive and respond well to calls. I don't want to go pushing up in there where I think they are and run them out. Guess I approach moose hunting kind of like I would hunt elk, just kind of mimic what their behavior is. And they just don't seem to be very fired up yet. When all else fails, take a nap. So we just got back to the tent. Figured I'd come back and make a cup of coffee. We were only a couple hundred yards. And I think we had a visitor. Looks like a flipping bear. He's trying to get in the tent. Look down and to the right at the tent.
Was it there this morning? I didn't notice.
I didn't know. I don't think so. I would have noticed it, I think. Not gonna keep a real big bear out of there, but this bear don't look so big. Had some pemmican inside the tent in a bag. The old dude was trying to get in there and get it. Not too worried about it, other than if he comes back and just shreds the tent, that wouldn't be so good, because this is the only thing we got back here. Brought the boat up half mile or so, right out here. Oh, I don't know, another 50 yards or so. There's a big kind of meadow / lake looking thing. So we'll just ease in here and just kind of look and see. So we could hear a moose walking out here in the water somewhere. So now we're gonna go kill it. There was a moose right here. It's probably still there. Oh, so we've got a cow. Stand on the other side of this meadow, about belly deep in water. She keeps shoot him, but I'd rather find one on drier ground. Dang it. I can hear that bully's right here. That's pretty awesome. So this bull, he's like 8 yards. Clear lane to his vitals. The rut is getting kicked in when they let you stand here. Just need one that's 50 inches. This isn't one of the bulls we saw this morning. We saw two nice bulls this morning. I bet that one that I hear farther, I bet that's one of them. But he'll be in here, I would guess, somewhere in here tomorrow morning. All right, let's head back to camp. Get out of here. Man, that was one hell of a way to close the day out. That bull was, at one point, he was probably 7 yards. Awesome. Just need one like that with either 4 brow tines or 50 inches. I was trying to put a 4th brow tine on him on one side. He had 3 on one side and 2 on the other. I have to get back after it tomorrow. So this is an any weapon hunt. So most people that are out here with rifles, which would make it a lot easier. I mean, our hunt could have been done the first morning when those 2 bulls came cruising by on that timbered edge. We could have filled that tag, we could have packed it up and gone home. But choosing to hunt with these basic weapons, these primitive weapons, does put you at a severe disadvantage when compared to other hunters. And if I end up not filling a tag, this may very well be the reason, but I'm willing to accept that risk because I also understand that hunting with these basic weapons gets you to the root of what it is to be a hunter. I mean, to be able to go out into the woods, cut down a tree, make the weapons that you use to hunt and feed yourself. It allows you to be as deeply engrossed in the hunt as possible. And I like that. Day 3. And it is quiet. Gonna be able to hear them from a long way today. We're gonna head back over here to where we were approximately last night. And hopefully this other bull will be hanging out in this area. We'll just go over here and call. If they're raking this morning, we should be able to hear them from a long ways off. There's a bull grunting, but he's on the other side of this oxbow lake. So we're going to ease over here and just be there in case he swims that lake. We've been ghosted. Find a spruce, get the roots, can lace a moose call together. So they don't look like much now, but you get these things all cleaned up, get the bark off of them, and you can split them. And they make they're durable, but they just fit. They just look awesome. You bind things up. Spruce roots. This is it. This is what was going wrong. This is the problem, or was the problem. We didn't have a proper moose call. Problem solved. It's time to go kill a moose. Afternoon, day number 3. So we were going along here and found this skull that's been buried for who knows how long. But I wanted to just use it to give you guys an idea of what we're looking for. So my bow unstrung is 64 inches overall length, and if I measure, he's right at 60 inches. In addition to that, he's got 4 brow tines on one side, and that's this kind of extra piece of antler up here at the front. These are all his brow tines. And so in this unit, for a bull to be legal, he has to be a minimum of 50 inches wide, which is about here, or he has to have 4 brow tines. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something at least 50 inches or better, or 4 brow tines. But that right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? Let's go time. Cow. Oh, another bull. So we've got a bull out here that looks like he would be legal, but he's got 1 damn antler. If he's got 4 brow tines on that 1 antler, he's legal, but best I can tell, this bull's only got 3 brow tines on this 1 antler that remains. The wind's kind of quartered to him, so we're just gonna get back in the woods and just ease down there and get kind of even with him. So we got a crosswind. We'll see if Pretty sure he caught our wind. See, he put his nose up in the air. Well, that was fun. I'm pretty sure that was that bull that we was hearing this morning. I think he would have been over 50 if he'd had another antler, but he did not. And he didn't have 4 brow tines, 3. Okay, back to it. So you might look at these rules about antler size and think that they're just unnecessarily restrictive. And they can be very frustrating, especially when you have a bull that comes in and he's right there and you've got a perfect shot opportunity and you just have to pass on him because he doesn't meet those minimum requirements. But these antler restrictions are tools that biologists use to manage the population. And so without those restrictions, hunters would simply take too many bulls and the population would suffer. And so as frustrating as they are, I'm glad that they're in place because without them, we wouldn't be having these encounters that we're having. Morning of day number 4, getting a little bit earlier start, and we can hear a bull across the river over here where we were the other day, grunting. So there's a couple of lines of timber in here, and the rest of it is just open marsh. So we'll just ease the boat up, get out, walk up there, and stick an arrow in his ribs. So we've got our eyes on what appears to be a legal bull from across this meadow. They're a long ways away, but the wind is coming from the timber out into the flat where they're at, so it's going to be iffy. Now we just got to get within 20 yards of him. So we're getting close to those moose we saw from the other side. They should be up here another couple hundred yards. I think the wind's gonna be okay. It's kind of going out into the flat, but it's a kind of a crosswind too. So right now, you find yourself in this kind of situation often. When you're hunting, you know there's an animal there and you have a decision to make how you're going to proceed. And you're either going to find out if your plan's going to work or not. You're either going to blow them out They just fucking spooked the cows on the other side of the meadow. Well, that was, I think, the only call that I could have made, but did not work out. Cows don't suffer from the same lack of judgment that bulls do, apparently, during the rut. And they blew out. Oh well, on to the next one. You might look at a blown opportunity as, you know, as just a screw up, you know, and it is. You a lot of times you work your butt off to get an opportunity and then you mess it up. But at the same time, I got to see that animal. I got to get close to that animal. And sometimes the mess ups are my fault, and sometimes they're just things that you can't control, like the wind or just where they are in relation to you. But it's encouraging to me because I know that those animals are there and that I can get close to them. To the next spot. It sounded like I hit him. I could have hit the branch he was on. I didn't see where it went. Okie dokie. Oh, we've been getting our butts kicked today. Saw that one pretty nice bull this morning, and we've been stopping and calling, and hadn't heard anything since this morning, so we're back at it. Go find a tree to climb up. Couldn't see much from up there. Nothing. Go to the next spot. I go that way. That was almost bad. Alright, what are we doing? We're trying to kill a fucking moose. We're wading up to our crotches in a swamp. There's a bull grunting straight across yonder way. A long way. So if that bull comes across this meadow, we're not in a very good spot right here. So I'm just gonna move over here about 30 yards where the got a little more cover so I can move a little bit better. Alright, so this bull is hung up. We're gonna ease back in here on that high ground and try to move around a little bit, see if we can get a different angle and maybe see him over there. But we still got some time. So we changed positions just a little bit on this bull, and it sounds like he's getting closer. Waiting on a bull. It's 9:30. We got about maybe half an hour. Day 4 comes to an end. We sat in this spot called for over an hour, and he just never would come out of that meadow. The biggest challenge for me, up here for moose hunting is adjusting to the schedule that you have to keep. I mean, we're getting up at 6 and then you hunt till 10 p.m. Then you know, it's 10:30 right now, and so we won't be in bed before after 11 p.m. and then back up at 6 tomorrow morning. So it's definitely it'll definitely wear on you after a few days. Go around A5. It's underway. Our wind is kind of, it's okay, it's not the greatest. It's the only place we could get into. If we came in from the other side, it's just too deep. We can't get to there. So we have waded across this thing for probably half a mile or so and sneaking and peeking, looking at all these little openings we come to. I haven't seen or heard a moose. He doesn't appear to be out here. I was for sure we were going to see him out here. Not today. Not this morning anyway. So lonely Larry there. Like the beaver's been in here. Oh. Oh. So there's what looks like a really nice bull on the other side of this meadow. I'm cow calling to him. He looked, but he just turned and he's walking down the edge, at the far edge of this meadow. He's probably 1,000 yards away. So this bull is just continuing to walk down this. He'll look back this way every now and then, but he's probably covered 400 yards in 5 minutes. I mean, it is amazing how fast they can cover country, and they don't even look like they're moving fast. They're just walking. He's not showing any interest in us, unfortunately, because he looks like a good one.
I'm glad I got to see that bull, but it's pretty frustrating. They didn't like me. So, I guess there's nothing else to do than take a nap, eat some pemmican. Oh. 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 Oh.
so apparently this bull has got a death wish, because this is the same one that we called in a half mile that way just the other night that got so close to us. But obviously he really doesn't give a damn. I could have killed him 100 times. We just need one that's legal to do this. This is the second bull we've seen from this area. The other one was legal, but he wasn't coming towards us. I think we've had as much fun as we can have in this place. Hell, I mean, if it don't get any better than this, I'm happy. I didn't hear anything up there, couldn't see anything. We'll go see if we can find something that's talking. It's one of them government approved nozzles right there. Piece of a little stiff on the cold morning. These little siphon tips on these hoses are hell of a lot better than the way I used to have to do it. Spit a mouthful of gas out. Fun stuff. Is he legal? He's close. Can't put another brow tine on it. Need to make sure we got some brush to get right behind this stuff. We're just working our way up, just kind of gonna look out in this meadow. We had been calling back here, and he was coming right up this edge, coming to the calling. 3 brow tines on one side, 2 on the other. We got a good wind here. We may just hang out here and do some more raking and see if there's another one hanging around. Just need one that's big enough. There's a line of willows right here, and a lot of times they'll walk right on the edge of these, either on the edge of the meadows, or there's a line of brush because the ground's a little bit more solid there. But he was coming right down the edge of this thing, just walking, heading to the calls we were doing back here. And as soon as, I don't know if you could pick it up on camera or not, but as soon as he got right here, I grunted at him, and his whole attitude just, like, I mean, 180 degrees. He was just walking to start, and as soon as I grunted at him, man, he just got bowed up and started swaying, and his eyes rolled back in his head, and you could see the slobber just coming out of his mouth. I mean, he was ready to rock. I guess the closest I got to him was maybe 15, maybe 20, but definitely within range. Every time I get a chance to draw on an animal, if I'm not going to shoot or whatever, I'll just put a blunt on there and just go through the steps just like I'm going to shoot them. I'll draw, get my anchor, set up everything just like I'm going to shoot, just shy of shooting. And it's just going through that as many times as you can when you get opportunities like that is such a huge help when the time does come to make a shot, because you'll have done everything in a live scenario. Just like it, as realistic as it can be. And I do that with deer and pigs and everything, but just need one big enough now. In case of a grizzly bear attack. So that right there is chaga. It's full of antioxidants, good for you. People make extracts with it and stuff, tinctures and stuff, but just use it for tea. So Xander likes his jelly beans, but he can have them damn things because rose hips are better and they're free. Well, we came, we sat, we saw nothing. So now we're gonna go eat and sleep and then get up, do it all again tomorrow. Today was the day that I predicted I was gonna kill a bull, but didn't happen. At 5:59 a.m. we had a bull raking outside the tent, which was a nice alarm. Although it was too dark to see him. But now it's just starting to rain a little bit. But I reckon it wouldn't be an Alaskan moose hunt without some rain. So I think we're pretty close to the edge here. From what I've seen, these bulls, they like to walk that edge between the open and the timber. I guess so they can see and be seen, but then also stay out of that spongy, kind of marshy stuff out there. Makes it a little easier walking. So we got a bull right here raking, and he's coming in. Fingers crossed he's big enough and that he gets close enough. Same bull we saw the other day. He's got one antler. So when I saw that bull coming through the brush, when he turns his head just right, it makes it look like there's 4 brow tines sticking up. And all I could see is that one antler coming through there, and I didn't yet realize it was that bull that we called in the other day. But got me excited there for a minute. But when he turns his head, you can see that it's definitely not a brow tine. We've last couple of days we've been doing pretty good calling them in, but they're either not big enough or they got one antler. So I'm pretty sure that bull, if he had another antler that matched the one he has, I think he would be legal width-wise. But anyway, we've been here for a pretty good while. We're gonna head back to camp, grab something to eat, and then we'll get back out there and do it again. Making some chaga tea. Stuff feels kind of like cork. Very cork-like. Another day, come and gone. Called in a bull this morning, but kind of got skunked for the rest of the day. Get back after it tomorrow. These bulls are definitely a lot quieter than they were the first few days of this hunt, and I think it's due to just a lot of pressure on them. There's hunters running up and down the river. There's a lot of people out calling, and they're calling aggressively. They're raking loud, they're cow calling, and I think these bulls, they go into these calls and they just run into people constantly. And so I'm changing my tactics. We're gonna tone things down a little bit. We're gonna just try some light cow calling, some light raking. Just yesterday we had a bull that was within 100 yards of us, and you could barely hear him raking, and he's just barely tickling the brush. So I think they're just toning it down, just to try to avoid that pressure that's being put on them. Grateful that we can come out and spend time in spots like this where there's no sounds from civilization, where there's giant prehistoric animals roaming through the brush. Feel very blessed. Last full day. We had some rain come in last night. Rained pretty much all night last night, but looks like it's clearing off now. Maybe today's the day. Or maybe we just sit around for 16 hours and don't see anything. But you never know. So you gotta go. You know what planet that is? Bonus points for anybody that can tell me what that. I'm assuming it's a planet. It's up and to the right of the moon, very bright. I'm guessing Venus, but I really don't have any idea. 8:30-ish. I just heard what sounded like a bull raking, just real light, but it sounds like he's maybe 300 yards. I think we've got a good wind on him, so hopefully he'll just come on in. I can hear that bull. He's right here. Whoa. He's gotta get down. Whoa. 3 and 2. Dang it. Let's move this way. Whoa. Well, he was within range, but had 3 brow tines on one side, 2 on the other. Wasn't wide enough. Story of this trip, not wide enough. But still, I mean, you can't complain about. That's pretty cool. Anytime I come out on an adventure like this, and I really do look at them as adventures. They're not really, the hunt provides the framework for this, but along the way, all the other little things fill in. They fill in the story and they fill in the experience. Everything from just the quiet mornings with the loons calling in the background to sitting in the timber and having, a little flock of chickadees come by. Like, those things just add so much to the experience for me. And I really don't have any expectations when I come out here. My only expectation is to have an adventure, have a good time, and I don't know how I could fail. Being in a place like this, I don't know how you could fail in achieving that. Last night, I did not drink this whole bottle while we were out here. I had just a little bit in there. Chevy put me some Jim Beam in this bottle to make it look fancy. So cheers. Been a hell of a good adventure.